Eli, I spoke to Free-Aigbe, public affairs analyst. I began by asking him what his thoughts were on President Buhari's decision to pardon two ex-governors convicted for misappropriation of public funds.
It's so interesting to see how President Buhari, who came to power riding on anti-corruption, to pardon those already convicted of corruption or corrupt practices. It shows that indeed, according to Mr. President, that if we don't kill corruption, that corruption will kill us. Now, with this pardon, it has shown that corruption has really killed us. Corruption is winning. Corruption is winning. Sincerely, I would not even imagine that President Buhari, who is seen to be a man of integrity, a man that is of proven character, of straightforward in terms of anti-corruption fight, it came in 2015. Principally because Nigerians thought that corruption was eating up the fabric of our country, and people thought did agree with him at that time that they wanted someone who will clean up Nigeria from the corruption, from the mess we were in at the time. And suddenly, the cost for the very first time in the history of Nigeria, two governors outside. I mean, not the first time anyway, but at least remarkably, two governors, a case that began long before he became president, and then convicted. People were excited about of that conviction, and suddenly the proposal went to that secretary to the council, and then the advisory that they should be pardoned. So why don't you also pardon all of those people who have been involved in criminal acts? Why don't you also pardon all of those people who have been involved in all manner of things? In fact, this is about the same time where you pardon anyone and everyone involved in treason, felony, or whatever it is, that it's anti-Nigeria, because corruption is our biggest challenge in this country. If you can pardon someone convicted of corruption or corrupt practices, then we should pardon everybody in the prison. Let everybody come out.
But some would argue that the president is simply exercising his powers on the granting of pardon as stipulated in the Constitution.
Yes, I agree. I don't have a problem. He has the power to grant pardon. Yes, he can free everybody in the prison. He can go to the DSS and open up the gates and release everybody there. He can go to all of the police stations. He can go to anywhere and release anybody in prison custody. If he can grant pardon to one who are convicted, then he can grant pardon to everybody. I am saying, with all due respect, that someone who is seen as an anti-corruption leader granted pardon to convicted. I mean, those ex-governors were not convicted of other criminal charges. They were convicted of involvement in embezzlement, in malpractices, and that to do with embezzlement of state resources. They were convicted and using state resources to do the prosecution. It was state resources that prosecuted them with the amount of money, the amount of time, the amount of energy, sitting down, reading, and all of the things that the SEC did, and all of the court proceedings and everything that happened. And eventually they were convicted. And there was some celebration, and suddenly, no, we should not celebrate. Man, they are granted pardon. They are free. They can become anything and anything else. Hey, I am not saying they cannot grant pardon. I'm also saying there are people in prison custody right now who didn't do anything, who were arrested doing something, who were arrested in a location. You know how the police sometimes go to criminal environment, and anybody around that area is picked up and then squeezed and then kept behind bar. There are people in prison custody who has never appeared in court for the past 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Those are the people to be granted pardon. Those are the people to be set free. If they've never appeared in court, man, we should set them free and get them out. They may be useful to society.